term was good as well, so it's like, alright, I don't want to switch to the OP race because that seems kind of bad. But now Protoss is OP. Or wait, no, maybe it's Zerg. I can't remember. Which race is OP right now? I think we're in the Zerg phase of imbalancedness or something. I don't know. It always switches. It's like fashion, you know. Different things come in and out of style, and then, one day this thing is in style, and the next day it's something else, and it's all ridiculous. Alright, apparently it's Zerg right now. Okay, Zerg OP. Good times.
뒤에서 경기 많은 걸 본 건 아니지만 한두 경기 이렇게 볼 때 야 조재혁 선수도 감이 참 잘 올라오고 있고 처음에 이제 스타2에 대한 적응에 대한 문제를 본인도 얘기했었지만 금방 또 적응을 하면서 스타1에서는 안타깝게도 승리를 거뒀는데 스타2에서는 적응을 하면서 팀의 후반전을
Canata versus Best. Sweet. TVP. On. Hold on. Entombed Valley. All right. Looks like he's actually got fairly balanced stats in Pro League, which is quite nice. And oh yes, thank you for reminding me. I have the Storm. Best did in fact qualify for the next OSL, the StarCraft 2 OSL. Yeah, the Kesper qualifiers for the OSL were, oh man, I actually I was looking at the Liquipedia page for with all the brackets for the Kesper qualifiers, and I actually just started laughing and crying at the same time. It was just so weird. It was so weird because looking at those qualifiers, not even watching Pro League, but just looking at those qualifiers made me realize just how over the old times are. It's like all the good players going down to random people. It was just so weird to look at that bracket. Just like, oh man, some Twilight Zone shit. Anyway, at the top right is the red Terran, we will have Canata. And at the bottom left is the blue Protoss, we will have Best. And I think, hold on, so for this might be the first time ever I do, I have a whole game in HD and we don't crash. I'm crossing my fingers, guys, everybody pray. This could be history in the making on Sayle's stream. Yeah, we do have a wall in from a turn, standard stuff. We're getting the occasional graphical glitch thing. It's kind of annoying. Yeah, what's up, dude? Trying out those probies. Looks like he's gonna go for a 13 gate. And we're seeing a gas first here. Gas before barracks from Canada. We're gonna see some fast Banshees perhaps? Some Terran DTs? Actually no. They're not as good as DTs, according to Pain User. Do you guys remember that? Remember way back when? That was one of the earlier State of the Games, wasn't it? Where they brought on Pain User, and there was an epic argument between Noni and Pain User about whether DTs are better than Banshees or the other way around. Oh man, good times, good times. That was back when Kulos Ravine was still in the map pool. Ugh. Anyway. Looks like Probe Scout went to top left, doesn't see anything, is going over to turn base now. The Wallen's not going to be a full Wallen, so he is going to get into the base. But the thing is, the barracks will be finished now, so he shouldn't be able to tell. Or I guess he can tell if he clicks on the... Or no, he can't tell. He won't really be able to know how fast the gas was taken. So he's just gonna run around here. I mean, he will see the gas, or I think he's just saw the factory at least. So it doesn't really matter if he sees the gas or not. Obviously, he knows it's been taken. So he sees the factory. I think he got close enough to see no second gas though, which is quite crucial. Obviously, if you see fast 2 gas, it's almost certainly going to be Cloak Banshees coming your way. But there's only 1 gas. So it could just be a normal 1-1-1. And by normal, I don't really know what I mean, because there's so many freaking variations of 1-1-1 that you can do. But he's going to start chronoing out his Warp Gate. He's going, getting a first Zealot and Stalker. Probably going to poke up with those. At least clear out this Watchtower, and maybe poke the front, just to kind of get an idea of what's going on. Looks like we do have reactored Hellions actually coming out here. You can see the barracks was making that reactor, immediately switching out with the factory. And I do... Okay, looks like starport just starting now. I was going to say, I don't see a starport, but starting at the top left of the main. So it's going to be some reactored Hellions, presumably just going to go for a Hellion drop. Get out 4 Hellions in the medevac. And that's going to be quite interesting here. Meanwhile, we do see a Robo and an additional gateway on the way for the Protoss. Just one gateway though. Does he already have a second one? I actually wasn't paying attention. Is it just 2 gateways and a Robo? Looks like he's playing very, very safely here. 2-gate Robo, just still on 1 base, no fast expanding from him. I think it's a good move when you see that fast gas from the Terran, just to play a little bit more safe. Going 2-gate Robo, you can pretty safely hold off any kind of Banshee or 1-1-1 all-in or anything like that. Just, you know, wait for your observer to get out, let you know exactly what's going on, and then you can react accordingly. And of course, if the Terran does do some kind of weird, you know, gas into just faking you out into expansion, then you just make a couple of mortals and just go kill him. So it's all good times. So yeah, it looks like the medevac is coming out here. He has made a 5th and 6th Hellion, so he's probably gonna like do a drop in the main and then run 2 into the natural or something. Just, you know, kind of doing that multi-pronged attack, hoping that the Protoss actually did fast expand. But you know, since the Nexus is just going down now, most of the Protoss forces are kind of chilling on the ramp. I think Best will be just fine against this. Looks like the Hellion's actually just going to run straight into the natural here. And oh, Force Field going down. Didn't seem quite necessary. He had Stalkers there in place. Maybe he was just scared that the Hellions would run past and just go straight for the probes. I guess that, yeah, that makes sense. But now the Hellions go, or rather the dropship. Gah! The medevac is going around the side. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the Protoss forces, looks like they're all outside at the natural here. Oh, actually, they're chilling on the ramp. But he's only got 3 Stalkers here. Those are what he needs to chase down these Hellions. You know, the Sentries and Zealots aren't really going to be able to catch these Hellions. Looks like 3 Hellions loaded up into the medevac here. The other 3 chilling outside the natural. The Observer actually sees that there's only 3 Hellions there now. So, like, if I was Best, I'd be mighty suspicious about where the other 3 went. And there we go. There's the drop going to the main, but 2 Stalkers already being warped in at a good time. And looks like, yep, just going to ward away that medevac here. But now the other 3 Hellions running up the ramp. Looks like one of them does get force fielded out. The other 2 going towards the mineral line here. The probes all lined up, but 2 Hellions will not be enough to one-shot these. And oh man, the rest of them getting clumped up. But looks like most of the probes do survive. And wow, actually, oh, he's going to get the medevac. Oh, gets the medevac as well. Only a couple of probes went down there. But in exchange, a medevac and all the Hellions being killed. Actually, I think 1 Hellion might have survived. The one that got force fielded out of the ramp. That guy is so lucky. He's like, thank God that force field went down, or I would have died like everybody else. So, nice defense by Best there. But the thing is, while all that was going on, as we can see, you know, the Natural's already up for Canata as well. You know, he did cause a lot of, cause a bit of lost mining time there with all the probes, you know, running around all over the place. You know, deny that natural from mining a little bit, but otherwise I think the Protoss is in pretty good shape here. You know, he's got his Robotech up already. He's got all, you know, he's got his infrastructure. He has gone for the robotics bait, get some Colossi out. And he's actually now going to put out some counter pressure, but I think he should be a little bit careful. He's only got a handful of units there. There's only 3 Sea Shanks out with 2 bunkers there. There's no real way for him to do anything here. And it looks like Siege Mode is actually almost complete here, so rather than going for just pure bio, you know, in the early mid-game, it looks like Canata is actually going for like a Marine tank style here, doing almost like a TBT style. And this is actually going to be quite interesting. You know, tanks, they've been neutered since their Brood War days. Not exactly the most popular unit in TVP. But I guess we'll see how he makes use of them here. I mean, the thing is, with that Robo there, you know, Best can just pump out a couple of Immortals, tank all the shots, and focus down those tanks, and it'll be quite effective. I mean, Colossi even by themselves are great against Marine tank. So he's going to have some really good Marine control and good tank positioning to make this work. I think Canata will. Notice he also doesn't have that reactor on the starport. This starport's actually not even making anything. He's made 1 medevac and actually isn't making anything else from that starport. So he's also got to be careful how much he stims those Marines, because he's not going to have a lot of healing. It's like 2 more gateways going up for Best. He doesn't have just 1 pylon powering everything though. Actually, I think the other pylon on the side might power like the middle 3 gateways, but Gotta watch out for those Artosis pylons. Anyway, looks like we might have a bit of an engagement here in the middle of the map. I think this is the correct move from the Protoss is you don't want when the Terrans go for siege tanks, you don't want them to be able to just walk up to your natural and just siege up in a good position. You really would rather have an engagement in a wide open field in the middle of the map. It's almost kind of like the reverse of what you usually want. Like usually when the Terran goes for mass bio and the Protoss goes for Colossi, the Protoss prefers the engagements in like the small tight areas, whereas the Terran prefers to engage in open field so he can get a big surround and get a big arc off to minimize the Colossus damage. But this is kind of reversed, where now since he's gone for Marine Tank, he'd rather have all the Protoss units clumped so that his siege tanks are maximally effective. Can you even say that? I don't know. Whereas I think Best might favor a more open engagement. It's hard to say because he's also gone for Colossi. So obviously, if the Marines are all clumped up, then the Colossi will do a lot of damage as well. So it's kind of like both players are hoping that the other guy like walks into a choke and gets clumped up so that their splash units do more damage. It's quite interesting in that regard. But look at this, just only one medevac still with that whole force. If he just stims once, that is just going to be so painful for him. Looks like he is finally adding on some Marauders now to that force, adding on a couple more medevacs, and looks like in his scan, snipe down that observer. And it looks like Best is content to still sit as natural now and just wait for the attack to come his way. I'm not sure if that's the best idea because he's just giving Canata the opportunity to you know get a good siege position. But it looks like Canata is not going to be overly aggressive here. You know, he does still have a primarily Marine force, which is going to be very, very fragile against those Colossi, so he's now adding on those Immortals. Actually, looks like he didn't even get Combat Shields. Like, Combat Shields just now finishing up as well, so those Marines were super, super fragile there for a bit. But the Temple Archives is also almost finished, so, you know, once some Storm gets out, that's going to be even worse for him. He's got to just go soon or expand or something. He's not taking a third base just yet. He's pulling a lot of SCVs. It looks like it might just be a 2-base all-in here from Canata. I don't really know if this can work. Looks like some Templars being warped in now, but is he going to save those for Storm? He's not actually researching Storm, so maybe, yeah, he's just going to make them straight into Archons here. So I think that's good that he didn't just save those for Storm. He does need those Archons at this point, and looks like, oh, just going to poke out a little bit, force an early siege from the siege tanks, using his observer to see what's going on here. Looks like some Marines moving forward, hoping to snipe that observer, but not going to get it. And, oh, leading with the Colossi, I got to be very, very careful here, but nice move here, going to grab a few units for free. There's only 2 Vikings on the field, so those 3 Colossi going to be able to do a ton of damage, although those tanks, I wonder if he'll focus fire down the Colossi with the tanks, with their massive range. We'll be able to compete with the huge range of the Colossi as well. I'm not really sure what's better to target with the tanks, because on the other hand, even though the tanks don't do maximum damage to the Zealots, because they don't have the bonus, the Zealots will clump a lot more, and so just from the splash damage, you might be able to do more by hitting the Zealots. I'm honestly not really sure. I think it probably will still be better to target the Colossi, though, because he does have a lot of Marines. And the Marines can shred the Zealots pretty quickly, as long as the Colossi aren't killing all of them. Anyway, looks like continues to do harassment with these Vikings, but here we go! Best has decided that now is the time! He does have charge lots, a lot of charge lots moving in here. The Colossi, though, not really targeting down the Marines, so the Marines doing a ton of damage in the back, but it looks like Best just has way too much, cleaning up the siege tanks so easily. Oh my god. The charge lots by themselves, I think, could have just won that engagement. He had so many charge lots, just shredding everything, and GG instantly from Canata, getting completely demolished there. Oh my god. I think that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Terrans don't really go siege tanks in this matchup. Wow. So, Best giving SKT their first win of this series. Canata just like, oh man, I wish those tanks did 70 damage instead of just like 20 to Zealots. How much did they do? 25 to Zealots or something? I can't remember now. Are they 25 plus 25? Siege tanks? 35.